All right, so you've made yourself an object in 123 Design, and you want to 3D print it. First thing you need to do is make sure that all the elements of the object are combined. You can do that by going to your Combine menu, selecting Merge. Once you've merged everything, your next step is to save the item and then export it as an STL. So in order to do that in 123 Design, you go Export as 3D, and then you select STL file. So your mesh tessellation settings, you're best off going with fine because you get better results that way. We're not going to export as ASCII, and we click OK. We're going to call this our mug, and we're going to save it to our USB drive here, and away we go. So once again, up here, export as 3D, STL, and then save it. Once you've done that, you can exit out of 123D Design and open up your slicing program. In this case, I'm using Craftware. So from here, we click on Open. There's a little green button here. I'm going to browse to where I've saved my STL file. And I'm going to find any files in this case. Here we go. Here's my mug. And I'm going to open it up. It wasn't showing up because it was just listed as Craftware project files. So I open up my mug. Ooh, there we go. All right, that's looking pretty good. It's flat on the build plate. It's not looking like I want to reorient it in any way, meaning I'm not going to put it on its side or scale it or anything like that. So I'm just going to leave this exactly as is. If I need to mess with it, you'd click on it and then you could scale it using these buttons down here. You could also click and drag to scale it if you want to. But that's not something that we need to worry about with this particular thing. You can also rotate the object. Again, this gives us 3 axes to rotate it around if I want to, or you can simply move it around on the build plate if you want to put multiple objects on the build plate. So you've got several options here. But in this case, we don't need to do any of those. So all we need to do here is go right to slicing, which is on the right-hand side. It's this light purple button labeled Slice. Now, I should mention that before that, if you haven't gone in and set your the size of your bed, that's very important. So you need to go in and make sure all your settings are correct on this end before you slice. And that's going to be printer specific. Okay. So after this, we go to Slice. We select our material. We select our print quality. You select nozzle size. You can select your build plate if it's got some sort of covering on it, type of hot end. And then if you've got presets, you can load them here. That's stuff that you've already saved, like preferences for bed and stuff like that. This is where you get things like, okay, so what is my heated bed going to be at? What's the head temperature of my extruder going to be at? So forth and so on. Do I want to heat everything up simultaneously? Do I want to heat the bed first and then the extruder? So forth and so on. This disables the fan on the first 3 layers. That helps you get better adhesion. I recommend that. That's very helpful most of the time. Speed, this is how fast you want it to go. If you're having trouble laying the print down with accuracy, you can lower your speed. And then, of course, you've got all these other settings. These are just basic settings. You can go to the advanced settings and get really crazy. But for the sake of this basic tutorial, just leave this stuff alone. And we're going to, I like to stick with high or medium quality the first time I print something. So I'm going to stick with high quality on this one, and I'm just going to click Slice. And there you have it. It didn't take long because it's a very simple object. If we twist around, you can see where it's added the supports necessary for printing the handle for the cup. This thing is done. Now all I have to do is save my G code, save G1. I'm going to save it to the same, oh look, I was making something for my Yamaha. We're going to go to the flash drive here, and we're going to save this as mug G code. Voila. And there you have it. G-code is saved. Make sure to completely safely remove your pen drive. Okay. And there you have it. So once again, real fast, how we do this. Let's go back to, take it back to the start, shall we? We're going to click on this guy. We're going to go back to a new object here. Go to objects. Here we are. I'm just going to click on this and delete it. So once again, to do this, we open. We go to our item. We make sure that we're showing all files. We select our mug. And then we go to slice. If we're a beginner, we leave all these settings alone and we just select medium or high quality and then click slice, and it takes care of everything for us. And that, my friends, is how you take something from 1 to 3D design through a slicer, and then it's ready to print on your 3D printer. And there you have it.